We do not take our eyes off the target board. We will not allow our enemies who seek to rearm to harm us. We will strengthen our power several times over. We will act to bring back all our abducted fallen to their homeland. We will fulfill all the war objectives, and with God's help, we will complete the victory. I must tell you, I heard the new argument, another ridiculous argument, that Israel is not the one determining its security policy. So here's the truth. As we said, both I and Vice President Pence, yesterday, we are partners. We are working together, and I will reveal something else to you. The United States is interested in a strong and independent Israel. Absolutely. See, from conversations with President Trump and discussions with his entire close team, they want a strong and independent Israel, an Israel that knows how to defend itself, act decisively, creatively, independently to protect itself, and when it protects itself, it also protects the region. En voordat Patu from the lab, by the growth from the low point of the 7th of October, the Shin Bet climbed up Wazana, alongside removing the existential threat. We regained our deterrence power, both in offense and defense. We did this against with hundreds of attacks thwarted each year, about 1,000 thwarted. This is an unimaginable number. The incoming head of the Shin Bet, David Zini, you have decades of military service in various roles behind you. You have had a very impressive career in the combat system of the IDF as a fighter, a commander, a senior officer, and as a general in the general staff. And at every station, you left your mark, and I heard your friends say, I want Zini by my side in battle. There is no greater compliment. There is no greater compliment. I was impressed by your task-oriented focus, your determination, your courage, your humility, and I will tell you, the ability to foresee things, to foresee them accurately, and also the ability to think, as we say, outside the box. The state Jewish Zionist education that your parents instilled in you has borne fruit. Here's something I didn't know when I was preparing to say these things here. I learned that it also comes from the grandparents. No, I knew this about this in general, but I heard about your grandmother Rachel, an Auschwitz survivor who stood up against the oppressor, and to her barrack mates who were gripped by despair in Auschwitz, she said, listen to what she said. Auschwitz is temporary. We belong to a people of princesses destined to return to their estate. The operational activities of the Shin Bet are expected to face difficult tests. Some of them erupt quickly. The Shin Bet under your leadership will be at the forefront of security work, and therefore I say to you, Shin Bet Chief David Zini, on my behalf, on behalf of the government of Israel, on behalf of the state of Israel, may you have blessing and success for the security of Israel and for the eternity of Israel.
Prime Minister and his wife, all distinguished guests.
First, I would like to start with thanks. As a thank you, Prime Minister, for the trust and choosing me for the role of head of the General Security Service. Thank you to my parents and my educators for raising me to be a loyal son. To our wonderful people, thank you to my dear wife and family for their support and partnership, encouragement and backing. Thank you for leading the service through stormy days to a safe harbor. A special thank you to you for years of leadership, dedication, professionalism, and endless humility. Thank you to my commanders and subordinates throughout my military service, thanks to whom I have reached this point. A final thank you, one before the last, to the members of the General Security Service for your extensive work. Thank you to the heads of the departments and through you to all the service members for years of dedication and commitment to the people and the state, quietly, modestly, and humbly. A final thanks to the Master of the Universe, who granted me the privilege to serve the people of Israel and brought me to this day. I stand here before you moved by the greatness of the occasion and the importance of the event. Excited as a private individual, but even more so, excited to be a public servant of the people of Israel and the state of Israel. A public servant of the people living here with us in the present.
That's why I'm not an artist, but also a public emissary of past generations.
Generations of Jews who aspired, dreamed, prayed, and acted for thousands of years to reach such days. In the prayer of the public emissary for the high holy days, the emissary says, I have come to stand and plead before you for your people, Israel, who have sent me. And thus, the public emissary places himself in the proper mental state to be a public emissary. He redirects his desires, aspirations, and actions from personal thoughts and motives and focuses all his energy for the sake of the public that sent him. This is true for a public emissary, and so it is for the emissary of the people. All his strength comes from the people, and therefore this position is even more moving. As a grandson of a Holocaust survivor, I am moved when I remember that for about 2,000 years, and until not many years ago, we could not even imagine such a position in an independent state, a strong and sovereign state, a state that is a regional power, a thriving and flourishing state, a state so strong that even during a long and prolonged multi-front war, it still has strength, and it can afford to argue, protest, and debate. Look at what we have been through in the last 2 years, and despite all that, how much energy we still have. You can also look at it positively. See how much vitality there is in our wonderful people. We achieved our national revival thanks to our hold on the eternal consciousness of Israel, with the certainty that we will return to Zion.
From the power of this consciousness, each individual event can be assessed in its proper context.
From this perspective, distant nota, each and every link in the long and magnificent chain of generations is perceived in its full strength and significance. And from the power of this consciousness, we look optimistically at our situation today. It seems to me that today is much easier than 2 years ago. But, as the Prime Minister said here, many challenges still lie ahead of us. We are in a historic period, a time in which significant and dramatic changes are occurring in our national life, disrupting the old order and creating new arrangements. Naturally, this reality generates uncertainty and sometimes insecurity. In light of our responsibility and great faith in the people, the state, and all the good within it, we, the public emissaries, members of the General Security Service, will act as public emissaries in every generation, ascending the platform with the words, "In the name of all Israel," on their lips. We are emissaries of all the people. Only from this comprehensive and national understanding does the authority of our actions derive. We live in a reality where sometimes the public debate is not only about the proper way we should act, but about the very definitions and criteria to consider. What is an enemy and who is a friend? What is truth and what is falsehood, and more. This challenge does not tread lightly on the General Security Service, a demanding security service required to operate within a clear, defined, and stable conceptual and ethical framework. In this reality, the General Security Service is required to act with great responsibility, maintain stability, conduct itself with restraint, operate according to the law, and hold an open and tolerant discussion that allows a variety of opinions to be expressed. We will conduct the ethical and professional discussion openly, incisively, and impartially. However, once the decision is made, we will act decisively, resolutely, determinedly, and professionally until achieving our documentation, maintaining the security of the state and its institutions without excuses and without hesitation.
Internal trust, both hierarchical and systemic, along with integrity built through great effort, form the solid and sole foundation for our ability to serve as public emissaries in safeguarding the national home. In my 30 years of service in the Israel Defense Forces, I found that this trust can only be achieved by adhering to the following 5 values, all starting with the letter Aleph, which I call Aleph to the 5th: love, trust or faith, responsibility, truth and courage, as long as they are for the people and the state. Trust and faith, faith in the people of Israel and the state of Israel, faith in the great goodness that exists in the world, in the people of Israel and the state of Israel in particular, faith in the return to Zion and in the strength and future of the state, trust in the goodness inherent in each and every one of us and in all of us together. The second is responsibility. Responsibility for my actions, responsibility for my friends, responsibility for others as they are, responsibility for human life, responsibility for future generations, and responsibility for the strength and security of the State of Israel as a leading value, standing above and before my own life.